Better shot right here. Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. I've got Jessica Lee running the chat. We're doing our best to get to the chat. It seems to be a little bit challenging this evening. We are going to keep it super short tonight as I am headed to Mexico tomorrow. Why am I heading to Mexico? Because when the senior advisor to the Nobel Prize Peace Summit invites you, you say yes. Or in my case, I said, I'm feeling like I should go. My heart is calling me to that. Let me check with my wife first. But that's what I want to talk about tonight. Not specifically checking with a wife, but that is critically important. I want to talk about stepping into your power and how all of us can do that. With that said, just a couple really quick notes. First off, you're not sure I actually asked you?
I don't think you asked me.
I did absolutely ask you.
You asked me?
I did ask you.
You said, can I go?
I think you said I had to go.
I don't think you asked me.
I think you actually talked about the peace that you would have by kicking me out of the house for a week. You don't recall this?
No, I recall talking about that.
So, okay, couple quick notes. First off, iMeditations is live. If you want a whole bunch of free meditations, anywhere from about 3 to 8 minutes in length, come on over to inspirenationshow.com. Jessica may even have a better link on here, and you can get a whole bunch of free meditations. Secondly, I'm going to be out of town over the next about week or so. We have a few spots left for coaching left. So what Jessica suggested is we run a really brief sale to see if we can get our spots filled by the time I come back. So if you're interested in coaching, there has never been a better time. Simply sign up for a free one-on-one strategy session with me to see if coaching is right for you. And that would be at inspirenationshow.com/coaching. And there are very, very few spots at, man, we haven't run a sale in forever. There are very, very few spots left. So if you want to get on board, better hop on over to there quickly. Lastly, if you want to follow the journey, we have some assistants, and we're going to be posting a lot of the videos and events I'm going to and people that I'm meeting and all sorts of stuff. I'd say fun stuff. I think peace is fun. All sorts of fun stuff like that on our Instagram page. And that will be instagram.com/InspireNationLive. I'm not quite sure how live will it be from Mexico. I will see what kind of reception we have from there, but I'll see what can happen. Now, this has all taken place because I stepped out of me. I've been writing for years, both what my dream was, what my hope was, which is to help change the world, elevate consciousness, raise people's vibrations, elevate humanity. I've been talking about this for years, and I felt that this was inside of me, but I had no idea what the next steps would look like. That's an interesting thing about stepping into your power. A very Tony Robbins approach would be a very step forward with power into your power, whereas I'm more of a dive in, step into your heart and let the sword, sword of love, appear. I'm very much about how can we be what I call an open-hearted warrior, stepping forward into yourself by diving in on the inside. And so I've been doing the meditative work. I've been doing the automatic writing work. I've been writing out daily, más o menos, relatively speaking, who I am and where I see myself going. And then instead of trying to force and strive and drive the ship, I've gone back in the inside. How much work can I do to quiet my mind? How much can I dive into my meditation on a daily basis? How much can I dive into a third-person writing experience, in my case, automatic writing? That's automaticwriting.com. Jessica has disappeared, but when she comes back, she will probably write here. I'll write it here, automaticwriting.com. And how much can I keep that vision of myself clear in my mind while doing the inner work? What's the inner work? Challenging myself, to put myself out there, to get uncomfortable, to grow my skills, to do the very things that scare me the most. I want to repeat that. To grow into your power doesn't mean just keeping yourself in your power cocoon. It means challenging yourself to get out of the comfort zone. Get really scared and uncomfortable, but within a reason. We don't need to throw ourselves off a cliff, quite literally. And to expand, to evolve, to, in the words of Anadea Judith, she talks about holding a charge. How much charge can I learn how to hold on to? So when I started the show, I remember my first interviews. I was doing Fred Allen Wolf. I was doing Robert Mirabal, two-time Grammy Award winner. I was doing Amit Goswami, a lot of people who are on The Secret and What the Bleep Do We Know? And I was strong, but I was also a little bit like this. I was just a little bit afraid. And I stepped into it anyway. I started off with, airing the show, maybe before a few hundred people, and growing into that power and getting really uncomfortable, crying myself to sleep, going, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I remember probably almost melting down about 6 months into it because I didn't know how to juggle the questions I wanted to ask while allowing things to flow. The ultimate answer is get out of my own way. A challenge for you, get out of your own way. But I grew comfortable with a few hundred, kept challenging and pushing myself, grew comfortable with a few thousand, started challenging and pushing myself, grew comfortable with 10,000 or more, and then now to a giant football or soccer stadium, the biggest stadium you can think of, on a daily basis. I'm growing into my power by challenging myself and doing so from the heart. I want you to remember this term because this is what you are. You are an open-hearted warrior. You are learning how to quiet the mind, and I highly recommend exercises on a daily basis to do that. You can check out our meditations at inspirenationshow.com, but you are quieting the mind, and you're learning to tap into here and to step forward, I'd say fearlessly, but step forward into the fear, into your greatest self. I'd be completely lying to you if I said, well, I'm not scared of this. I'm not scared of that. I'm not scared of going to Mexico tomorrow. I am. I'm leaving all the work behind. There's a lot of stuff that gets to be done. This is a very, at the last minute, taking an international trip is one heck of an investment. And it's an investment in myself. So I would be lying if I didn't say that there was some concern or trepidation. But I have felt the calling. And so I'm stepping forward into my greater self. My guess is that you have felt a calling, and then you've reasoned your way out of it. You said, that's not for me, not at this time, get real, get serious. Here's the reasons why I can't do it. Not skilled enough, the time's not right. I couldn't possibly do that. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling concerned. I watch the news and I feel like hiding under the covers. All of which may be true on some level, but you and I aren't operating on the level of reality. Reality holds you down. What does it mean to get real? It means to stay where you are, to stay where it's safe, to follow the tribe, and to never break out on your own. But each of us, you, yes, I'm speaking to you, are meant for greatness. None of us came here to play it small. We are all part of the divine. I call us each a rose on the bush of infinity. We all came from love. We all operate from love. We all are love. We're each an individual piece of the divine, of the whole, of the God nature, of the one mind. And we all, every one of us, without exception, has greatness written all over us. It's simply our job to choose it and to step forward into it. Let me repeat that. It is our job to choose it and to step forward into it. When you're feeling too afraid, when you're feeling, Jessica hates it when I say it, when you feel like your knees are wobbly or your legs are wobbly and your knees are knocking in, instead of running the other direction, instead of saying, not now, instead say, let's do this. Now, you don't have to take, Tony Robbins again says, massive action. I'm a believer in micro action, taken over a massive period of time, unless the phone rings and you're told, get yourself to the Nobel Peace Prize Laureate Summit, in which case you go, aye, and you take massive action. But growing into your power is a step-by-step process. Each and every day, continue to challenge yourself. Continue to push yourself for greatness. Continue, more importantly, to push yourself to dive in on the inside. If you put that vision in your mind and simply each and every day, you dive into your meditation, you do some clearing work, you find where the fears and concerns and worries or anxiety are, you write them down, and then you lean into them and you try to learn from them instead of pushing them away. You will be growing into your power. With that said, we're keeping this really short here tonight. And so I'm going to start opening up to questions. I'm going to keep speaking here, but I'm going to let Jessica see if any questions come in. And if they do, I want you to jump all over it with me, because we are doing kind of a YouTube live light tonight. I thought of not holding it, but I'd made a promise that we were going to do this weekly. It'll be interesting to see how it goes in Mexico next week. But I promised that I would do my best to do this weekly. However, we have this giant list of what we get to do before I leave at like 3 or 4 in the morning to go drive myself. I guess it's a 3.5 hour drive and then an hour lift away to get to my international flight. But I wanted to share this with you because to me, this isn't a journey of me. First off, I'm going where there are Nobel Peace Laureates, people who are changing the world. We can all change the world. We can all change the world by stepping into our power, by going in on the inside. But I also want to share this journey with you because, and by the journey, I don't just mean my trip to Mexico. I want to share everything with you, the good, the bad, the ugly, and that does take place. I'm certainly as far from perfect as anyone, but I want to share it because I think we can all learn from it. I can learn from sharing about it. And you can learn by either learning from what I do so that you can see what you can do, or learning from what I do so you can see what you do not want to do. So with that said, do we have any questions coming up?
I have a question.
All right.
What are your intentions for your time down in Mexico?
Ooh, and can I steer this to you or no? You've dressed up now. I know you've
I'm
been
not
in.
dressed up.
I would say you're dressed up. She has been the Houston ground control, helping me get me ready while I have been coaching and doing an interview today with Clint Ober, my dad, who I am so happy that I had on the show today, talking about grounding and earthing and reminding me of things that I did know, but that I wasn't necessarily practicing anymore. So, okay, what is my intention?
Yes, or intentions.
You know, that's usually the question that I ask my coaching clients. And so mea culpa, I have not written down my intentions yet.
Okay, well, now's a good time to start thinking about it.
So my greatest intention is for this to be a portal, a stepping off point, almost a diving board, although I don't want to say dive down, but into something greater. I want to thrust us into the world spotlight and being able to help lead and change people's lives. And I know this in my heart of hearts. I know that's why I'm called to go. I want to coach leaders. I want to coach world leaders because everybody gets to learn how to quiet this monkey mind, drop down into their heart, remove old wounds and blocks that are holding themselves back, and learn how to be the most amazing, open-hearted servant leader to change the world. I didn't pick this trip. I had no intention of going. In fact, I had no intention of going to the trip before this trip, the event at our day. And that magical trip came out of surrender experience. And that magical trip led to an invite having to do with the climate change summit and the UN this week, which would have also been awesome. But then it blew up. It went poof. My invite went poof. And I'm going, wow, well, that's kind of interesting.
Uh-huh.
And what do you do when things go poof?
You go, thank you very much.
Yes, you go, thank you very much. And not thank you, may I have another, but then you say the or something better. There must be something better coming. And this or something better could have been here, could have been my coaching, could have been interviews, but it happened to be the equivalent of a phone call saying, why don't you come down to Mexico? And the senior advisor invited me down to this Nobel Laureate Peace Summit. And that's an or something better. So I'm watching the pieces come together. I have set my intention over time to play at this level. And at the same time, my biggest intention here is to get out of my own way. When we're talking about stepping into your own power, we're talking about stepping into God power. We all have it inside of us. Don't be scared by that term. We all have God power in us because we all came from there, wherever there may be, which is probably not describable with words. But we all came from that and we get to step into it. And so the most important thing that I can do is let go. I don't know what's going to happen on this trip. I don't know what's going to happen on these flights. Heck, we just made new business cards. I have no idea who I'm going to be handing them out to yet, although they are so, so cool. Jessica spent a whole weekend working on a business card that was part of me stepping into my power, which is really about us stepping into our power because we're a two-person team. Don't think for 1 minute that I, whoever this person is the guy in charge. First off, the Pookie in charge. Secondly, the universe in charge. The more that I know that, the more I get out of my own way and the more we can fly. So my biggest intention is to let go and surrender. And at the same time, be available for the magic, be available to help others, be available that when the knock comes, I don't go, oh, I'm too tired to talk to that person right now. Or, oh, I feel like talking to that person. But who am I to speak with a Nobel laureate, for instance?
Mm-hmm.
Instead to go, all right, let's talk. Another human being puts their pants on probably one leg at a time.
So being available is like stepping up to the plate.
Wow. Much better than I could have put it. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
But you're much better at doing it than I am.
Stepping up to the plate?
Yes.
Each in our own way. So
that's true.
When I'm talking about stepping into your greatness can be the world's greatest stay-at-home mom, dad, grandma, or grandpa, and you are my heroes. Heroes, heroes, heroes. That can be stepping into your power. Stepping into your power can be the person who cleans an office with such incredible pride that everybody feels the energy when they come in the morning. Stepping into your power can be blogging. It can be podcasting. It can be helping somebody cross the street. It can be a therapist. It can be a healer. It can be a painter. It can be in anything. There is no one that's better than the other. I don't understand how you paint. I have no concept of how you do that. So you, in that way, are much better than me. I would sit in front of this thing. You've seen me try to just signing my new passport this morning. I did it on a first try because I've been challenging myself. You should see with my card, the car stereo in Tessie, in my Tesla, where I am literally, I'm not sure if I want to give this song a thumbs up or not. I'll wait till the next time it comes around. No. Say thumbs up, thumbs down, make a decision, wire the mind better at stepping into your power. So, all right, going from intention. Do you have more questions? Did you want to share this card? What did you?
I thought you might want to, but you might want to cover up the cell phone number.
Yeah, we could do that. So I am the VIP mentor, Aspen. spiritual direction, emotional healing, and inner wisdom for world leaders, change makers, and influencers. Together, and that's you and I are my listener here. Together, we elevate the 7.6 billion people sharing planet Earth. And on the backside, it just has me here, and it has visionary coach, spiritual mentor, and radio personality. I challenge you, make your own card. Was this a fun experience?
It was.
Until, I mean, we had deadlines to work with, like try overnight the card. That was quite the deadline.
I was holding my breath for like 48 hours because I didn't, you don't know exactly what it's going to feel like when you're ordering it online.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just hoping that it turns out the way you want it to.
Yeah. And I have had an experience with the online cards before. Maybe it was with you in my life. I have had the experience where they have come out awful. And we did have the experience with a office store that shall remain unnamed a few years ago, or maybe it was a year ago here in the Valley, where they were just unusable. So you never know. But it's fun. Make yourself a card. One thing that I have challenged coaching clients with is to make themselves a desk plaque or to put something on their door that is, their El Presidente, their leader, their captain. They are whatever is the greatest title in their life that they aspire to make that card or make that plaque now, because that is who you are. Time is not linear, folks. Time is not real. I am already coaching world leaders. I am already speaking before millions and millions. You already have stepped into your greatness. E equals MC squared. Time does not exist as we believe it to be. It's just that universe has made 1 second go before the next, so that it doesn't all get scrambled up in our mind at once. But we are already there. So what's your greatest dream? What do you dare not share with anybody else? Make a mock-up of a card. Make the actual card. Make a plaque. See yourself as there, and then surrender into it. Surrender, and surrender even more. Somebody just mentioned yin and yang power couple, soul igniter. I love that because I want to say that we have yin and yang within each of us, and we step into our greatest power when we balance the two. I used to be really, really soft, push-over-y soft. Do you remember that? Me push-over-y soft, or was that before your time?
I'm not sure what you're saying.
That I was too yin.
Oh, okay. But what are you saying?
I'm saying that we want to be balanced.
Yes, but
Push-over-y.
Oh, okay.
That I was not stepping into my power. I was apologetic. I was too, no,
Yeah.
for lack of another way. And that doesn't serve anybody. But we get to bring ourselves up. So I am what I call an open-hearted warrior. An open-hearted warrior is somebody that leads into the fear from the heart. My heart was literally cracked open in an accident more than half a decade ago. And hopefully I have learned since then to lead with the heart rather than to try to push, to drive, to strive. At the same time, I will not be steamrolled over. Or at least I will attempt to not be steamrolled over. I balance those two. The divine feminine is what is missing in leadership today. Oh my God, is it missing? The true divine feminine would never send a child to war. Ever, 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 ever. The divine feminine would never cook this planet in the name of profits. Not for a moment. That's been missing. That's a piece I want to help bring to the leaders today. At the same time, we need to be strong. We need to step forward. That's the combination of the yin and yang. You see Jessica typing away. You might think very much yin. Oh my God, can she be young when it comes to me? She's a badass. She's not just a badass at home, but she's got mama bear energy, which is a very young, protective energy. Protection of the family, protection of the planet, protection of loved ones. And so it's that balance that we want to bring forward. And that's worth diving into. If I was coaching you right now, I would say homework assignment number 2. Homework assignment number 1 is come up with your power plaque, your power card. Homework assignment number 2, if I'm coaching you tonight, this is kind of fun. If I'm coaching you, is to write out, am I mainly yin? Am I mainly yang? Am I more sensitive? Am I more power? These are gross simplifications. Where am I on this spectrum? And how do I move forward into a balanced place of power? How do I step forward into my balanced, open-hearted warrior power? Grr. Yes, grr is right. And that's a mama bear grr or mama cat grr.
That's a cat.
I like it. So with that said, any more questions or anything you want to add? You know what's cool about that cat? Is that cat on the larger screen represents the mascot of my college, Colorado College. Colorado College and CSU having a ram, but Colorado College has the tiger like that. Mm. Anything else that people want to add or that you want to add?
Well, yes, there were a couple questions from the audience.
Okay.
Adam wanted to know if you had any books that you recommended. I asked what specific topics. He said practical and spiritual development in business, perhaps.
Ooh.
I'm thinking Robin Sharma.
Absolutely. I love Robin. I love Brian Tracy. It's interesting when you get to the top of the game in the majority of the guests that we have on the show. I tend to stay away from anything that's stoicism. That's a very young approach. Not that there's any bad approach in the world, but that's a very much slay and martyr yourself. Not that we ever have. If you're going to be an open-hearted warrior, if you're going to be a leader, whatever that looks like in life, then balance is a myth. But we can have yin and yang balance, but balance in life is a myth, because when you're trying to launch a rocket, you got to launch the rocket. But Robin Sharma, Brian Tracy, there's another gentleman, a servant leader who we've had on. He writes book after book after book. He writes it for other people. He writes.
Yes. His name is escaping me right now.
It will probably come to us and we'll put it in the chat room, because I would certainly include him as well.
There's also Bob Berg.
Bob Berg, absolutely. And we've had 1 or 2 others on this year. David Nagel, I would certainly put in that category. I've been impressed. All of the business people that we've had on this year are coming from this servant-hearted warrior approach. Yes, Joe Vitale, absolutely love. Jack Canfield, he's bringing heart to things, certainly. There's 1 or 2 others. They will come to us.
I think he's got enough authors to keep him busy.
So, and yes, and as I've been saying to people lately, if you are overwhelmed, get a coach so you can only do one thing at a time. It's way too easy, myself included in the past. I'm very good about it now. I am not scrupulous, the opposite. I am ruthless when it comes to choosing my tools at this point, so that I don't overwhelm myself, and then very kind and gentle with myself if I can't get to my entire morning routine or anything of the sort, because having kindness and compassion for yourself on this path is so, so incredibly important. Another question or 2?
Our next question is from Janelle, who writes, "This is exactly what I need to hear right now."
Awesome, Janelle.
How would you use tapping in the motion code to also help tackle fears? Do you have a process like using one technique first and then the other?
That's a great question, Janelle. So I don't say that. I use muscle testing a lot. So a lot of what I do, I don't do it so much in the lives. I do it in my interviews. I do it in my coaching sessions. In my coaching sessions, I do a lot of emotion code type work. I do a lot of tapping work and about a dozen other modalities. And I will muscle test, should I start with an emotion code type clearing with this person? Should I start with tapping? Oh, we're going to go with emotion code type work. I say that because I have my own kind of variance and clearing that I do with people. So it's not directly Dr. Bradley Nelson's technique. And I love Dr. Bradley Nelson. And if you're interested on it, Jessica can even put down the URL for you. Go and check it out and find emotion code practitioners as well. With that said, you're right, Janelle. We get to do this work if we are to be an open-hearted warrior, if we are to be a servant leader, if we are to step in our power, then we need to clear away the blocks and wounds that are holding us back. This is so, so essential. It's as simple as you can say, I'm going to set aside one time a week. I'm going to set aside one time a day where I'm going to do a little bit of clearing work. I'll give a homework assignment, maybe for 2 weeks, each morning, somebody to get up and to say, what's the fear du jour? What am I afraid of today? And that's what I want to tap on. Or I may say, I have just a general state of anxiety. Let's do some emotion code work. I don't believe, so when I met Jessica, I didn't lie. I thought this was the truth. She said, how are you doing with your childhood wounds? How am I doing with my childhood wounds? When you asked me this about a decade ago, what did I say?
I'm completely healed.
I'm completely healed. At which point she tried to run out the door as fast as she could. What I have since...
That was quickly followed by, will you marry me?
She said yes. But not at that time, actually. But there's always layers. There's always nuances. So there's always more to clear. And unless you're speaking to a truly enlightened being, and I haven't met one that I know of yet, I'm sure they're out there. But if somebody says that they've healed all their wounds, run and run fast. Because this may be, I haven't been the full way down this journey this lifetime to know, but this may be a lifeline journey of clearing. And when we feel the fear, when we find the wounds, when we find the blocks, the more that we work on a regular basis to clear it, the more we step into our power, because the lighter and the more free we feel. And the less likely we are, as I tell when I'm about to coach somebody, I go, I know you have wounds and blocks. And when you step forward, you take the little pistola and go after your foot, because all of us do. All of us get scared and pull back. I am so happy that I married Jessica. I wouldn't change anything in the world. But in college,
That's good to know.
my best friend was a girl who rode bicycles with me almost every day. And I was too scared to ask her out. And when I did, it was too late. She was actually dating my roommate. I was overseas. Everything blew up as it was supposed to. But I wasn't stepping forward into my fear. Awesome that happened because of what it taught me. I mean, we all know it's the things that we didn't do that we regret the most. Stepping into stepping into your power is choosing to step forward into that which scares you, choosing to step forward into the fears, choosing to face the fears each and every morning. Right, you can literally do an exercise. Here's a great clearing exercise. If I'm going to give you homework number 3. And we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to answer 1 or 2 more questions, then I got to get packing. Homework number 3 is to take an emotion, take a favorite, quote, negative emotion, and realize there is no such thing as good or bad. All your emotions are just here to serve you. They're here to guide you. They're here to teach you. But take your emotion. Hi, Mr. Anger. And write to Mr. or Mrs. Anger and say, Anger, why are you here? Anger, where did you come from? Anger, what are you here to teach me? And anger, how can we become best friends? You see, I think this concept of getting rid of the ego, of shedding the ego, of destroying the ego, of whatever the ego, to me, that's a war, that's a fight. Even though I'm saying open-hearted warrior, what I mean is stepping forward with your heart, sword down. There's no need for a sword. You step forward with your heart. That's the scariest thing in the world to a badass mother. Is somebody who's not afraid to step forward with their heart. But you integrate all of these negative emotions. You integrate the ego. You bring in that wounded baby child self. Bring her or him into your heart. Make yourself whole. Make yourself one. That's stepping into your power. All right, one or two last really screaming fast questions. Two questions. All right.
Carol asks, what if you're afraid of your power yet want to step into it?
Oh, Carol, I love that question. All right, Carol, if I was afraid of my power, and first off, that's an amazing acknowledgement to be able to recognize that, then I would write into that and write into what am I really afraid of? So myself, I used to be scared of my power. Absolutely. What was I afraid of? Quite clearly, screwing up. It's the screw up gene. I talk about it almost every week. I was afraid that the higher they are, the faster or farther they fall. And so I was afraid of falling. But here's the crazy thing about having a daily show. I fall on a daily basis. I don't say exactly what I want to say. I'll finish this. And for a nanosecond, at this point, I won't go that long. I'll go, why didn't I say this to Carol? Why didn't I say that to Carol? And the farther along we are down our path, the more power we are to change our lives and to change the lives of others. The more energy, the more power we have to make a difference. And so we can go even more. But practice it, play with it, write about it, learn about it, pull on that golden thread and see where that fear leads you. Because I love the quote from Rumi, where the wound is, the light shines through. So you find that fear and you pull on that string with all the might and see what it's here to teach you. And then you step even more into your greatest self. All right, last question.
Last question for the evening is from Jamile.
Yes.
What is the best thing or modality would you do to see what is stuck or needs to heal to release what we are really supposed to do?
Oh, Yamile, that's a beautiful question. The best thing we would do to see where we are stuck. I'm going to give you two possibilities. One is to go into emotion code or something similar to emotion code and be guided to get lighter. Rather than trying to think your way to what is the biggest block, just see where you are guided to the biggest block by, emotion code is a process of using a chart and muscle testing and see where you're guided. Second, I was actually going to go a different direction, but I heard automatic writing. Go to a third person process where you can have an inner dialogue with your higher wisdom, with your higher self, and ask point blank, what's the biggest block? Where are my wounds? What's stopping me? What's holding me back? What are the patterns that are preventing me from reaching my greatest self? I did this years ago when it became evident. I did this inventory of pattern, 36 broken bones and hospitalizations, illness, sickness, injury, by the time I was, by about a decade ago, 36 times. Because I said, what are the patterns? And I started literally taking inventory to see what was holding me back and why. Then, both through automatic writing and I used an amazing past life regression therapist by the name of Chua, Chua, out of Perth, Australia, who helped me to renegotiate my contract. Do you need somebody else to renegotiate your contract with? No, you can do it in the inside. But sometimes it's fun to have that assistance. It's a homework assignment that I help people with now, is renegotiating that contract so that you no longer have to remain stuck. But it takes a level of awareness, just like you're saying, Jamile. And I'm not sure if I got that right. I think it's Jamile. But we get to crank up that awareness through automatic writing, through an emotion code process. And the thing is, you don't have to get stuck on it. So emotion code, you're clearing. You don't have to go, oh my God, that's it. And then try to dive into it. Once you get past that block, leave it alone. You don't have to keep putting salt on that wound until and unless it comes back around. So with that said, I get to wrap things up for packing. I do want to check in with truly my better half or my equal and see if she has anything she wants to add, share, otherwise. Last, before I do that, again, very, very, very brief coaching sale while I'm in Mexico predominantly, just until we fill. And if you want a free strategy session with me specifically, only if you are interested in coaching with me, then sign up at inspirenationshow.com/coaching. And then check out our meditations. That's just at inspirenationshow.com. We'll give you a whole bunch of free meditations, music, the works to help you quiet the mind and find peace and step forward. Jessica, anything that you want to add for people?
For those of you who know about Nacho Mole, our little baby vole,
Yes.
he's doing extremely well. He's still growing super fast. Every morning he looks bigger. Because he is bigger.
You could like tape measure to his little arms or legs, and you'd see they're growing each day. He's longer. That's what I've noticed over the last couple of days.
Yeah, he is. And yesterday, I think it was, he finally learned how to use his wheel. And then he wouldn't stop running in it.
So, and I haven't taken it away today, and I'm hoping that's not a strategic error, because he's now running mile after mile on his own little treadmill. It is the cutest thing. You got to understand, he's a half ounce, and this wheel is 9 inches. It's no small wheel.
It takes a lot of effort to
like,
move the thing for him.
It's like a human being moving a Ferris wheel. And a giant, if you can picture I don't know, Coney Island doesn't exist, but like in Singapore or London, there's this giant Ferris wheel, and he's tiny little thing.
He's basically gonna like throw himself at the runway to get it going, and then after he's got some momentum, he can keep it going. But
so we've been taking a lot of pictures, more Jessica than me, and she says, and I'm not holding her to this, that there is a possibility on top of our Instagram Inspire Nation Live channel that when I come back, there may be a Super Mole channel.
Well, I find myself wanting to post photo after photo after photo, but it kind of doesn't make sense on Inspire Nation Live because not everybody wants to follow Nacho Mole.
I don't know. He is stepping into his power. He really is stepping into his power. But yes, we could have an Inspire Nation, not an Inspire Nation, a Super Nacho Mole channel.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. We love you guys. Come follow us. I'll try to put everything up that I can. It's going to take some assistance over this trip. Between you and me, I have no idea what's going to take place down there. But the call came and I said, holy Moses, I have no idea how to pull this off. Last minute, international, everything. But we, meaning me in this case, have got to go. And so we're stepping forward into our power. It is a game changer. And my guess is what I learned is going to help you as well. So that's all I've got from here. Jessica looks like she wants to add something else.
I just asked if anybody wanted to make predictions for what happens in Mexico.
Oh my God.
Michael eats a lot of burritos.
Arriba! And comes back with more hot sauce than I know what to do with, because I am a man who loves his hot sauce.
Yeah.
And I have said, if anybody ever wants to send me a gift in life, hot sauce is the simplest way to go. Yes, I probably will get more tan. I will probably get, some city miles under my belt running. The beach is 30 miles away. I don't know how often I can get to the beach.
You know, Nacho Mole was named Nacho Mole before we knew you were going to Mexico.
Just by days. That's kind of wild when you think about it. So that he got a good Spanish name.
Jamila says guacamole will taste way differently.
Oh, I look forward to it because I just had some vacuum-packed guacamole from Whole Foods tonight, and it does not taste like an avocado. So I am very much looking forward to it. I also have to remember the word vegetano. I will get it. To say, sombreros for the kiddies. To say that. This shows my Spanish. No carne. Con no carne. I'll come back speaking much better Spanish. I look forward to it.
Vacuum packed.
I love you guys. Be well. Keep shining bright. I look forward
Jamila wrote it.
Jamila, what did Jamila wrote?
Vegetarano.
The soul igniter. Vegetarano. And I almost wanted to say Alstublieft, which is Dutch for thank you. Muchas gracias. I lived in Europe. I raced bicycles in Europe. I butcher so many languages poorly together, but my Spanish is going to come back. That is my last intention. Actually, my last intention is to come back here and just be on fire and to step into our power and to be working with leaders. And let's get this family rolling. Woohoo! Love you guys, love you guys, love you guys, love you guys, love you guys. And love you, Jessica. You are my everything. You are my light. Not to mention the kitties and Nacho Mole Frisque. Love you. Bye. Shine bright. Kitty power.